Hey, what's going on, everyone? How's it going tonight? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Rustl'd for the 6th of March, 2018. If I recall correctly, that is today's date. I hope so. And this is looking a little bit darker. Let me lighten that up. We'll try to change that a little bit. There we go. A little bit lighter. Got to play with that. Got to play with that white balance. You know, that's how it is. It's entirely possible we'll be experiencing similar issues concerning bandwidth tonight. For some reason, it's fluctuating again. But I'm gonna play with it a little bit, see if I can get us up to a solid 3500 bit rate to get a little bit better. If it does, it might crap out. If not, I gotta drop it down again. I don't know what the hell's going on with it right now, but it's been acting up on me all day. So it may be a problem again. I don't know. I may have to drop using OBS for a while and just go into doing everything with whatever it's called. So we'll see. I'm not. I'm just gonna start closing everything out that doesn't need to be on right now. Maybe that can help out a little bit. Anything that uses the web. Okay, hopefully no Steam. Close out GOG. Discord doesn't do much. There we go. It seems to kind of stabilize it a little bit. I just reset the computer, so everything should be fine. So yeah, how's everyone doing tonight? I hope everyone's having a good day. You know, we got ourselves already the first super chat for $9.99 from Auntie Annie, saying Google Conquerors of Europe and look at the first person. You will get a good laugh. Okay. I have a feeling it's someone who's probably going to look like me, but what I'll do here is I'll Google it right quick and then we'll bring it over. Conquerors of Europe. Okay. So hold on. Let's take a look. All right. So we'll jump over this real quick. So who's the first person you see on that list? It's Sargon of Akkad. That's pretty funny. Why was the show so short last night? I ran through everything and I was tired. I had to be up this morning at 7:30 a.m. my time. I was on Pimp Monks. He's a YouTuber. I was on his show, the Morning Wood, as he called it. I was on there for about an hour and a half. So I had to go to bed early. It didn't really help out though, so I had to get my work done. Never mind the fact that I also started, and that's still pretty damn funny. So what I did last night, for those of you who don't check out my $3 Theater channel, which you should probably check it out. I do believe that it is a good channel. I started doing a new thing on there. I've been wanting to do this for a while. It's a Star Wars book club, right? Where I'll read a chapter of a Star Wars book. I will review it. I will recap it and have a discussion with at least give my opinion on it. Something I've wanted to do for a while because for one, I want to encourage reading, and two, I really want to get back into Star Wars, the books, the new stuff, not the legends, because I don't have that much time in the world, but the new stuff. And so The Last Jedi expanded edition novelization came out last night. So I did a video on the prologue, and I thought it turned out okay. So it's going to be doing that. So I started doing that. It's another reason why I kind of wrapped it up early so I could get to that too. The stream was kind of boring. Which one? Last night? Or wait, Riley, which stream was boring? Are you referring to the Morning Wood or my stream from last night? Because Pimp Monk's figuring out who he is. So I figure the guy, he's doing his thing. All right. I'm going to take a quick look here. I got a lot of submissions on mundanemat.com/submit for some stuff. So I'm just kind of looking through to see if anything I'd missed real quick. What was up with Facebook asking users in survey if they should allow grown men to ask underage kids for sexual pics? I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole because I don't want the video to get demonetized. So, I should watch Star Wars Rebels. I have seen like the first 2.5 seasons. I know the series finale, I believe, is next week, or did it already happen? Is it already happened? I think it may have already happened. I need to play catch up. It's all on Disney XD. Turn up the volume. Okay, I can do that. A little bit low. There we go. Testing 1, testing 2. Today here on Rustl'd, we're gonna be talking about a lot of crazy, goddamn, fucked up, amazing shit. That, again, is the wrong fucking side. So you had a good time on Pimp's Morning Wood. I think Pimp is a nice dude. I met him at the Drunken Peasants 420th episode. He came in from Mississippi. I came up from South. Hung out with him for a little bit there. Nice dude. And then he was at VidCon last year as well. I didn't know that. He looked familiar, so I think I saw him at VidCon. I just didn't know. So is that. Is Alex Jones the Keemstar of conspiracy theories? The answer to that is yes. Yes, he is. Andre, you should check out Star Wars Rebels. It's pretty tight. It's pretty tight. What's going on, Midnight's Edge After Dark? Yeah, okay, so the episode happened last night. Okay, I missed it then. I'm behind. So no fucking spoilers, please. I will start watching it tomorrow because I started watching Archer Season 8 yesterday because I missed it when it premiered last year. And so I caught it and I thought like there would be more than 8 episodes. There were only 8 episodes. It was a solid 8 episodes. It was a good story. Really funny and also kind of heartbreaking at times. But yeah, good stuff. So let's get right into the water that turns the freaking frogs gay. Is Rebels better than Clone Wars? Yes. Yes, it is. Rebels is better than Clone Wars. Clone Wars got better. Rebels started good and then got better. You know what I mean? Well, the thing, okay, so what you've got is most streams anyway start off demonetized. So I have to then get approval. So if I don't swear in the first couple minutes, I should generally be okay. Generally be okay. So there's definitely that. So hopefully we'll find ourselves, anything is better than Clone Wars. Clone Wars got better, man. By the end, Clone Wars got better. It did. It really did. What really sucked about last night, though, and okay, so I talk often about being a YouTuber and what it's like. So the videos I posted today, I don't know where I fucked up. They did not get the reach I thought they were going to get. And that is a thing that happens a lot with YouTube, is you never know. So if you ever go into making a video and you're expecting a certain number, you may not get it. Just saying. Accelerator here, $5 super chat saying, my YouTube Red ends this month. Should I continue to pay for it? I do like the music aspect of it. Well, here's the thing. If when you watch one of my videos or another YouTuber's videos, and I hope you're not going around behind my back with other YouTubers. I should be your one and only Accelerator. Your one and only. No, if you want them to get a little bit of something, if their videos are demonetized, then that's a good thing. During lean days, you'd be amazed at how often YouTube Red actually kind of comes in to pick up a little bit of slack. And I do think they're going to be pushing more for that. I am personally waiting for the sponsorship to happen. Whenever that hit goes wide, it should be pretty interesting. But that being said, if you like the music, keep it for the music. They do have interesting originals, and the fact that if you watch mobile and having the ability to take it into the background app and having no ads is really nice on mobile. I specifically have it at this point for the mobile features. I feel like I'm paying for something that should already be free, but again, people are in fact getting something off of what I watch. So I'm happy. It's the algorithm, not my fault. The algorithm has been bad today, but that's okay. That's okay. Am I going to talk about the Lebanon, Indiana story? That depends. Nathan, the Anime King. What exactly is the Lebanon, Indiana story? I don't know. Mac Jarbo is hashtag real news. Let's not go that far. You wish the Rebels writers would write the new movies. There are many people out there right now that are clamoring for Dave Filoni, who is the showrunner behind, I believe, Clone Wars and Rebels. I know Rebels for certain, to take over Lucasfilm, to like oust Kathleen Kennedy and put this dude in place. So will Alex Jones lose his channel in 2018? I'm going to say, yeah, probably. It feels like it. It real do feel like it. So yeah, I know Jones is up right now. And the thing is, I don't want Jones to lose his channel, but I think it's going to happen. When is WB dropping the Aquaman teaser? I have probably in front of Ready Player One, because that's the next big Warner Brothers movie. If I had to guess, it'd be then. So that's what I would guess on that one. But Caitlin, you like variety, so you watch me a lot. Well, I appreciate that you like variety, and I appreciate that you watch me a lot. It really does make me feel good to find out people watch. And the fact that people come in here when I'm on night after night after night live, it keeps me energized to keep coming back day after day after day after day in order to tell you what the hell's going on in this crazy, mixed up, amazing, goddamn, fucking terrible world. Do I think Anita Sarkeesian is really like her public persona, or do you think it might be an act? Oh no, I think it's really her. And that was based upon what Boogie2988 experienced of her post VidCon panel. And I got the inside scoop on that story long before he put it out, because I ran into him a couple hours later and got the inside scoop. So yeah, she kind of a B from Apartment 23, if you know what I mean. So there's definitely that. DC movies are terrible. Nah, I disagree, man. I still think Man of Steel is pretty freaking fantastic. So there's definitely, Matt is better than CNN. Yes, I agree. But also anything is better than CNN. Actually, with the exception of when James Earl Jones did the announcement for CNN. You know, this is CNN. And it sounds like Darth Vader is announcing the news. That was cool. Is Ready Player One going to be a colossal meh? I don't know. I'm a little bit concerned considering the whole situation involving the changing of the story. Right? A little bit concerned about that. Way bit concerned about that, because you know, he meets Artemis like in person in the movie, and in the book he doesn't meet her face to face until like the last 5 pages. So it's a little bit like, what you doing? What you doing? But then again, the screenplay is written by Zach Penn, who wrote the first 2 X-Men movies as well as the outline for Avengers. And also he created the show Alphas on Sci-Fi, which is basically like X-Men, but really well done. So there's that. What do I think of Larry King? I like Larry King. Hey, what's going on, Victor? How is Mexico? Hope all is well, buddy. Why is a Google search better at explaining math than a $200 textbook? Because it's Google. So the book was hot. No. Ready Player One wasn't a hot garbage book, but it was definitely bathed in nostalgia. Like, just, I mean, we're talking like a bukkake bath of nostalgia. Every page was like, hey guys, have you heard about this thing from the 1980s? I mean, like, it's 2045, and obviously the 1980s were a long time ago, but clearly everything about the 1980s is golden, and nothing ever bad happened ever. Ever. Pit Kendoka, why are you drunk watching me again? Because I'm fucking awesome, sir. Is Alex Jones better than CNN? No, he's not. I don't think he is. All right. Oh, the sheriff deputy that was shot in Lebanon. I don't really cover those kind of stories. It's not that I don't care. It's just that, like, I have to think of what not only do I find interesting, but that the audience might find interesting. So, like, I covered the story about the Iceland theft of Bitcoin, and I got like 3,300 views or something like that on the video. When average is around 10%, you know, should be 10% of my audience. But then again, YouTube has been kind of purging some dead accounts, and I just think that the algorithm's not working in my favor. So that one got really low review or low engagement. People just weren't watching because since I don't normally talk about cryptocurrency, talking about cryptocurrency, even from the perspective of like a really interesting heist, and it's kind of what the fuck news, a lot of people don't tend to care. And that's part of the problem, is like, that's one of the reasons why, honestly, when it comes to fast growing, like $3 Theater is fast growing because it's a niche. And I talk about it from that perspective. Here, it's kind of general news. So there's a lot of ebbing and flowing, and not every day is Christmas. So there's definitely that. Why are there 4 unlikes? I don't know. Hold on, let me change that. Internet Blood Sports is gay. Let's wait and see how the dislikes happen now. Yeah. But all right, we are 20 minutes into this stream. 20 minutes in there. And I think I should jump into the news. I think it's time to get things going. Looks like we're kind of holding steady on OBS. It might get a little bit wonky. I hope not. Last night, I actually, for the Alex Jones video, I had to download the entire stream and then chop out that segment because I was an idiot and forgot to hit record. So yeah, that's my mistake, y'all. Okay, so we're going to start off with a very interesting one tonight, because I do think it is interesting that it's happening. Oh, wow, that dropped. Okay. Jeez, what the hell is going on with my kilobits? Like, nothing's downloading. Hold on, let me see something here. No, nothing. Okay, I'm checking to see whether or not. Hold on. Before we jump in, I'm going to do a quick speed test to see what the hell's going on. Cox Communications was supposed to up my speed and everything else. All right, my ping is good. My download speed is 35 megabytes down, which is a little bit low for right now. Well, 36. Usually around this time of night, it's around 200, so that's definitely low, but that's not a bad thing at all. And let's see what's happening with my upload. My upload is rocking 9 up. Okay, that's fine. 2 is 720. I need 2 megabytes up in order to put 720 out there. So when it's pushing about 10. Okay, that's kind of weird. That is very odd. I don't know what the hell's going on. OBS is screwing up then. Stupid ass OBS. So I've talked about this before. This is a vitamin. You see that there? Vitamin vape. It's vitamin B12. Since I'm really exhausted, it's gonna help give me energy. Yeah. Thanks, Porcelain. So, oh, Midnight Edge says you just noticed that YouTube turned off notifications for the channel. That could be happening too. There's been a lot of that recently, which is one of the reasons why it's good to follow me on social media. So, I lagged for a second. Yeah, we're gonna be dealing with that for maybe a couple days probably. So let's jump into this here. We'll see what happens. We'll see if this thing actually works or if it craps out. I really hope the guy doesn't crap out. But it seems to be holding at around 3,400 kilobits a second. Usually I should be able to output 5,000 to give a much better quality stream. So I'm a little bit perturbed at what's going on with this. It might be my internet. It might be OBS. I might uninstall, reinstall it, and rebuild everything, which I don't want to. But of course, this is just the way things go when you deal in this particular space. But snaps for traps. So over the course of the past, oh God, I know it's like, 3 weeks, but it feels like a damn eternity. Parkland, Florida, and that shooting is tragic. No two ways about it. And there has been this raging debate about gun control and AR-15s after the fact. And we've seen many companies to say that they're not going to sell AR-15s anymore. And we've seen other companies say they're going to raise the minimum age to buy rifles, because in many places you can get rifles at the age of 18, rifles and shotguns, but no handguns until you're 21. And Dick's Sporting Goods is one of the ones that said they were going to stop selling AR-15s, but then again, they were only selling AR-15s in like one off-brand location that they owned, right? It wasn't like at all Dick's. Not all Dick's had an AR-15, right? Only some Dick's had an AR-15. And so this boy here, this 20-year-old, is suing Dick's and Walmart over new gun age restrictions coming in. This is Oregonian. I think that's one of the reasons why this particular story kind of appeals to me, is simply because this kid's an Oregonian. Now, a 20-year-old Oregon man has filed 2 lawsuits against companies that recently changed their gun sale policies to prevent anyone under the age of 18 from purchasing a rifle. Tyler Watson alleges in one of the lawsuits that he attempted to purchase a .22 caliber rifle from Field & Stream, which is owned by Dick's Sporting Goods, on February 24th, but was turned away because of his age. And yeah, that's interesting, because at the time they hadn't announced that they were gonna change anything, and that was only 10 days after the Parkland shooting. So it was really just still a lot of turmoil, a lot of chaos happening. But apparently, it looks like things were happening behind the scenes at Dick's that they really didn't want just in everyone's face. Now, Dick's publicly announced 4 days later that it would stop selling guns to people under the age of 21 and would also end the sale of assault-style rifles and high-capacity magazines. The company made the announcement in a response to the shooting at a Florida high school last month. Now, in the second lawsuit, Watson accuses Walmart, which announced its gun sale policy on the same day as Dick's, of age discrimination, saying that he tried to purchase a rifle at Walmart on March 3rd. Now, I mean, look, I understand that this kid has got, and I'm calling him a kid because he's 20. I feel like he's still around that age. He's got an argument that makes sense. If the law in Oregon is 18 and they're trying to raise the minimum age, that could be a violation, I guess, of his civil rights. I know that if this happened in California, underneath the Unruh Act, they might be able to file a suit. But at the same time, I don't know what's going to happen here. I don't know if they're going to try to fight it or if they're going to try to push back or give in. But at the same time, why is this kid looking to purchase so many damn rifles? It may just be that he tried buying the 22 caliber rifle and then was turned down. So then he went to Walmart a couple days later and looked to buy it again and was then denied. Now, the Walmart spokesperson told the Oregonian in a statement that the company would stand by its new policy, but he has not seen Watson's complaint. Watson is asking judges to force both companies to stop unlawfully discriminating against 18, 19, and 20-year-old customers at all Oregon locations. He also seeks punitive damages and attorney fees. Because of course you do. I mean, of course, I understand the attorney fees, obviously, but of course you want punitive damages. I can't buy a gun because I'm not old enough, according to the store policy, and I need money. I am being facetious for a reason. If this kid is, being age discriminated and everything else, then yeah, he's got a case. But I just feel at the same time, it's like, come on, dude. Now is really probably not the time to do that. But then again, now might be the time to do it because you're going to get the maximum amount of exposure because of this lawsuit, and given everything that's gone on with the shooting in Florida, as well as the NRA boycott and the pushback against AR-15s. But it says here that Oregon law states that residents over the age of 18 can purchase shotguns or rifles. Federal law restricts the sale of handguns to people over the age of 21. In the wake of the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School shooting, raising the rifle purchasing age has been the focus of some lawmaker discussions on gun control. Police say the 19-year-old accused in the Parkland shooting legally purchased the AR-15 rifle he used to kill 17 people and injure 14 others. President Trump has called for the age to be raised, saying that he thinks that it's something lawmakers should give very serious thought to. The thing is, though, right now is not the future. Right now is not then. Right now is not a House hearing in Oregon and then going to the Senate to be passed or vice versa, and then going to the governor, Kate Brown, in order to get written into law. So if the state law allows it, do these companies absolutely have to adhere to that? And I'm no lawyer. I know nothing of the sort. I find the story to be interesting because I feel like, yeah, they kind of have to, right? I do feel that ultimately in this particular case, they should adhere to that law. In states where there are no restrictions of such, then I can understand them doing that. But if Oregon has a ruling a law saying that 18 years old can purchase a rifle, discriminating based upon someone's age can probably get you a lawsuit. At the same time, I don't think this kid's a shooter. I'm not trying to imply anything like that. I know I made a crack earlier about why is he buying a rifle, but let's be fair. We're coming into like, what feels like hunting season in the Northwest, coming into the time when you're going to want to buy a rifle and take it out to go shooting or hunting. Not too sure what this kid plans on putting down with a 22, but I'm pretty sure it's probably not going to be a school. So that's for the best. But this is, again, one of those stories that's it's gonna ultimately boil down to a discussion on individual rights and then corporate rights. And then also state law and whether or not Dick's and Walmart have the ability to legally block someone from purchasing the rifle. Now, the thing is they could argue that they felt that the kid was being erratic when he wanted to purchase the rifle and they didn't feel safe selling him the gun, which I do believe there might be a restriction. Again, not and 100% sure on that one, but I've heard stories about if you work the gun rack at a place and someone comes in and they look relatively unhinged, you can refuse to sell them a rifle. So that, I mean, it could be one of those things. I have no idea, but this is just the beginning stages of the lawsuit. We'll have to wait to see what Dick's and Walmart do in terms of not retaliation, but response to Tyler's lawsuit. And at the same time, I get accused often of being indecisive in my opinions, but I am of two minds here. I do feel that that Tyler, at the age of 18 under Oregon law, has the right to purchase it, but then they, as the corporation, have the right to say no. It will be interesting to see where this case goes. This could end up being something that goes all the way to the Supreme Court. But if Dick's and Walmart, and if Dick's, look, to be fair, if Dick's and Walmart are smart, they won't settle this, by the way. If they're smart, they won't settle. If they're smart, what they'll do, because of the current climate and conversation over gun control, and the fact that both Walmart and Dick's were heavily lauded by liberals and by many people for refusing to sell the AR-15s, as well as raising the minimum age to purchase them, they could use this as good publicity. You know, like they could say, look, we're being attacked for trying to protect your children, and put out those kind of statements. And those kind of statements would go over wonders with certain people. But then it would really, really, really anger other people. Now what we have to wait for is to see whether or not the NRA will get involved. And if the NRA gets involved and like Dina Loesch goes and starts leading protests against Dick's and Walmart, and again, they could do that angle too, because it would look good to their new base, right? Did you know that in the wake of the NRA boycott, they've actually gone up about 500,000 new members in the span of about a week and a half? So now's a good time for positive publicity on both sides. The downside to it is the positive publicity that both sides could use to push this agenda further than it needs to go is that it ultimately would end up just damaging the conversation. The conversation should happen. We should look into how certain states handle gun laws and where certain people should go, or how they should handle certain people they feel aren't worthy of having a gun. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just very curious to see what happens next. Yeah, it dropped down. I know the feed dropped a little bit. It's really. Hold on, I'm gonna drop the bit rate down. I'll drop the bit rate down. That should help out a little bit. I don't know. I don't know why it's doing it. So yeah, no, it's, I lowered the bit rate. It should work now. It should work now, but, I have no idea. But real quick though, before I go into the second story here, which the second story, I don't like the word, I don't like to use the term, trigger warning. But if you like animals, you're not going to like this story. I just want to make that abundantly clear. Additionally, if you want to kick down and help support the channel, help get me to VidCon, because by the way, we were looking at our Airbnb houses tonight, and the people I'm staying with did put in a bid for a house to get while we're there. So that'd be pretty cool. You can do so streamlabs.com/mundanemat, and that does help out. And you can get to see your little donation on the bottom ticker. Of course, that's my shill. that's my shill nature for the evening, or my shilling for right now. And so yeah, hopefully. Donut Dog says, you like my new hairstyle. It's been doing well. Let's go. Thank you. I decided to just start doing something with it. Let it grow out a little bit. So there we go. Well, let's see. All right, 176 people watching, 60 likes. Let's get this motherfucker to 100 likes. But yeah, seriously, I don't know what the hell is going on with my internet. Everything here seems fine. OBS is just being a right old cunt. So Yeah, see, Tracy, I actually said that about you. That's why I gave that that little warning. Because I know you don't like animal cruelty. So there's definitely that. How is the baby doing? The baby is doing good, Queen Tide Pod. Thank you very much. So, all right, let's go into the next story. All right. You may have seen this on the Philly D channel, but I'm not Philly D. So there's that. Okay. Make sure hit record. Hopefully it doesn't crap out too bad. Give it a second here to stabilize. It did this a while ago too, by the way. I don't know what causes it. Do I need to I might need to update OBS. Okay. No, let's see if that holds. Okay. If there's one thing I believe everyone on the internet, it doesn't matter what your background is, where you stand politically, where you stand ideologically or narratively on a plethora of issues, when it comes to animal abuse, that's not tolerated. You know, that's a straight, castrate your dick in, molten lead type of punishment that should happen if you hurt an animal willingly. These two guys right here. Yeah, they did. They really did some bad stuff. And I want to talk about this because I want to make sure people know who the hell they are. I really want to make sure people know that these two people here are currently behind bars, by the way, for their crime. And I want them to know that when they get out, in 4 to 7 years, I think, that people know that their names are synonymous with their crimes, because there's a lot of evil you can do in this world, and what they did is pretty goddamn horrific. Now, these Missouri men are sentenced to prison for dragging a kitten behind a Jeep and killing it. Just what the hell? Dragging a kitten behind a Jeep and killing it. 2 Missouri men sparked outrage last summer after dragging a kitten behind a vehicle and posting a video on it on social media. Were sentenced to prison on Friday. Yeah, so it's not as bad as they drug a kitten behind a vehicle, behind a Jeep, and killed it. It was that they recorded it and they uploaded it to social media. That they uploaded it, I believe, to Facebook. That is just like that. There's no excuse for such an action. There's no, I didn't know what I was doing at the time, officer. Excuse. None of that applies. This was willful. This was wanton. This was just despicable, disgusting, terrible, horrific, tragic, and unfucking necessary. Kyle Williams, remember that name, by the way. Kyle Williams, 18, of Branson, Missouri. Kyle Williams, 18, Branson, Missouri. Class of 2018, I'm assuming. That or class of 2017. I don't really give a shit. Kyle Williams of Branson. Believe me, that will be in the metadata of this video a couple times. Was sentenced to serve consecutive terms of 4 years for animal abuse and 3 years of armed criminal action in the Missouri Department of Corrections. This is Kyle Williams, 18, of Branson. This douchebag with a neck beard and a Welcome to Paradise, what appears to be a nuclear explosion t-shirt, is sentenced to 7 years in prison. And I'm hoping that the nuclear explosion on his t-shirt is translated. That is a physical manifestation of a nuclear explosion of jizz entirely in his rectum every day for the next 7 years. And beyond, if we're creating a wish list. Jordan Hall, 19, of Arnold, was sentenced to 4 years in state prison for animal abuse. Jordan Hall of Arnold. This guy on the right. Doesn't have a bit of that smug look on his face knowing what he did. No real remorse there, by the way, but this one here, this Kyle kid. Hope he likes herpes in his beard. Or crabs. The prosecuting attorney said Friday that the defendants in this case received the maximum sentence for the animal abuse charges. Good. Hurting a defenseless animal just drives me up the wall. You know, it's not someone who can fight back. It's not someone who has an ability to get away. But when you target something that is as tiny as a kitten and you drag it behind your vehicle until it is dead because you want to make a funny video for a Facebook group, there's no explanation for that. I sometimes feel like the death penalty should apply because you're still willfully and wantonly killing something. I know it's a cat. People out there might be like, oh, it's just a cat. Fuck you. I have 5 cats. I love my cats. You harm my cats, I harm you. That's how this shit goes. They're like my family, and I'm not the only one. Not the only one. The torture and killing of the cat, which is filmed and posted to a Facebook group, happened last June in Branson. The video posted by Williams showed people laughing as the cat tossed and turned behind the Jeep. Police said Hall was driving the vehicle. The kitten was not dead after it dragged, so Williams killed it with a rock. Yeah, so, you know, you tie it behind a Jeep, you drive, it's trying to keep up. Eventually it's dragging because the little legs give out, and then you're like, whoa, I already gone this far, might as well go the rest of the way and crush it with the rock. And here's where it gets really bad. Prosecutors said Williams posted the cat's death on Facebook in an effort to get his audience to buy him a pizza. Now listen, I understand what it's like going before an audience and trying to raise money for something or earn money. I'm a full-time commentator on YouTube. My entire existence is based around this essential premise. But going after a cat, a kitten, going after a kitten and killing it with a rock in order to get a pizza that costs $5 fucking at Little Caesars. And trust me, that neck-beard nuclear explosion of jizz in his rectum, hopefully, God willing, could have gone and bought it for $5. But no. Wanted the audience to do it. See, I'm not just mad at Kyle Williams here. I am mad at the people who watched. I'm mad at Jordan Hall, who drove. I'm mad at the people in the Facebook group who encouraged that behavior. And if anyone out there bought this guy a pizza, I really do hope that whatever karmic justice can be just forced upon him like the might of 1,000 angry gods comes his way. It's bad. The prosecuting attorney, both Williams and Hall pled guilty earlier this year to get the charges in connection to the torture and death of the kitten. The prosecuting attorney's office announced the sentencing of Williams and Hall on Friday, saying, "We are satisfied with the sentences handed down today by the judge of this senseless act and the depravity against the helpless kitten," Taney County Prosecuting Attorney Jeff Merrill said in a statement. "We appreciate the help of Good Samaritans in our digital community in reporting the crime, as it might have gone unpunished without their assistance." I couldn't agree more. I 100% agree with that statement right there. There are good people out there that when they see actions like this, they do say something. But my question ultimately boils down to, how many more kittens were there? How many more kittens and animals have died that we didn't know about? How many more things have been killed by this kid to get not even a pizza, but a soda? Anything of non-consequential value. Now, Williams is also sentenced in a separate case to a concurrent 5-year prison sentence for sharpening a spork into a shank while he was in the county jail on the animal abuse charge. So again, this neck-bearded, despicable cockstain of a human being got an additional 5 years because he tried whittling a spork into a shank, probably realizing that there are a lot of people out there that like animals. And there are a lot of people out there that find out who you are when you go to jail and what your crimes were when you go to jail. So if he was sharpening that spork into a shiv for self-protection, I don't blame him. Not one bit. But the brutal, cruel, wonderful irony here is that that particular action, a move to save his own life after he took something else's for a pizza. We don't even know if he got the damn pizza. Got him an additional 5 years. This dude's looking at 12 years in prison. He's 18 years old. He'll be out when he is 30. He'll be out in the year 2030. I know prison is a place of rehab, supposedly. I know prison is meant to be a place of rehab, rehabilitation, learning from your mistakes. I don't think this kid should ever get the hell out. One day he will. And we'll be more connected on the internet in 2030 than we've ever been before. So people will know who he is. They'll know what he's done. And I'm pretty sure there will be people on the internet that are going to be waiting for that moment. Because if there's one thing the internet hates, it's a tortured cat. They ruin lives when they find out you've done that. You may have been able to hide away Kyle Williams for 12 years from the internet. But they are legion. They do not forgive. They do not forget. Expect us. Or them, really, because I'm not going to remember this by then, but I'm just saying, yeah. Okay. That was some fucking heavy shit. That was some heavy shit. Can we tell Tracy to come back now? No, it's the white kid. It's the white kid, Horror Punks. Yeah, that fucking angers me. That angered me. How old will I be in 20 years? I turned 36 in 20 days, so I'll be 56 in 20 years. Yeah. Did I talk about Trump and the porn star? I did not. No, the rest of the stories don't get as dark. They don't get as dark at all. Little Star, traps are gay if they want to be gay. Not all traps are gay. And not all gays are traps. Yeah, Carrie, I'm done now. I'm done. Am I trans? No, I'm not. I'm only a bitch sometimes. What can I say? When does Champ get mod? Nah. Can we get a happy story now? I don't know if I have a happy story. Let's see here. No. No, hold on. Oh, shit balls. I lost a gummy bear story too. I lost a gummy bear story. Let me find that real quick. Gummy bears. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. We are the gummy bears. Oh, shit. Hold on. I'm trying to find, like, I had the article that I wanted to use. Oh, that's just too freaking long. Thanks a lot, Washington Post, for making it all long and shit. Oh, there we go. That's what I wanted. That's the one I had. I don't have, like, I mean, we got, like, maybe a justice served sort of story. But I got nothing that's, like, good. Right? Like, I got nothing that's probably going to be considered, like, you know, make you feel good and shit. But I did see that that there was Streamlabs. Joseph Stalin, $12. Said traps aren't gay. What's the big deal with traps? Well, who cares if they're gay or if they're straight? I mean, who they have sex with? Yeah. Fuck the Washington Post or Dick's damn straight. Do a fart, cheer you up. Synthesizer Sam, since you're pushing the likes, I'm making you a mod. See, that's who gets mods, champ. You want a mod, you got to be a cheerleader. That's how this works. Fuck. I'm just any crazy news from the election in Italy? Not yet, man. Not yet. I felt compelled to talk about that story. I can't save because I have baby face disease. It's pretty baby faced. Gummy berry juice. That's right. All right. So, any chance this sick man will meet the booty warrior in prison? Probably. How much to get champ as a mod? Nah. Listen, my mods are near and dear. My mods are good peeps. You don't pay for the privilege to be a mod. Although one guy, I think I made him a mod like right before he paid me $5 to ask if he could be a mod. So that happened. Anyway. Oh, with that healthy diet of mine, it's no wonder that I'm a lard ass. Oh man. Yeah. I have like chicken and vegetables for dinner, steamed vegetables. I don't drink soda. I have a Starbucks every once in a while. I have protein shakes for breakfast, and I just got a Fitbit to make sure I'm getting my walking on. So yeah, I'm a big dude, but I'm taking steps to make sure that I'm still around. What about you, Goat Balloon? What do you do? What's your existence like? Hopefully good. Hopefully you're not a shitty person who lives in his mom's basement that masturbates to 3-year-old hentai. Hopefully you have friends and not just that, carton of milk you drew a face on. That's gone rancid, but you don't mind the smell because you know what? He listens. So, I'm not banning him. I have Starbucks I do have Starbucks quite often. This is a passion tea lemonade. So it's no caffeine. Yeah, I like to have something like, I've got water right here too. Keto. I know keto. You grow cannabis for good health. Yeah. Say hi to my unwanted child. My child, my child may not have been planned necessarily. Like we were planning on having it, so it happened, but it's like, dude, my daughter is gorgeous as hell. She is so funny. She was mimicking me today. She was doing the cooing. I was cooing at a octave that she responds to, and then she was laughing, or like kind of half laughing, smiling, and cooing in return. And so I dare anyone to take a solid look at this girl and never go, "You're unwanted." Bullshit. I think you're just upset that my daughter, who is 3 months old, has more followers than you. So. The primaries in Texas sucked. Suck day of means in my district, hiding Republican line, making Dem prominent. You just want to vote on the propositions. So are you pro or anti-Dem? I can't quite tell from that. I'm sorry. Oliver, I have not watched the Midnight Says video. I need to. So there's definitely that. Okay, so all right, let's jump into the next one. That's gonna be Perfectly fine. Okay. Where the fuck am I at now? I lost track of where I'm at, god damn it. To Lame for Radio, the articles will be in the individual videos that pop up tomorrow. So you hope Maddie becomes a co-host in future videos. That will be for a long time, because she is only 3 months. So there's that. Oh, Caitlin, you hate both parties. I understand. I completely understand. Matt for Congress. I've kind of thought about going in for a city council. I thought about running for city council. I have. I feel I could probably do more on a, what's the word I want to use here? On a local level than like on a national stage. But yeah. So, all right. Your comment doesn't show in the video, but on the chat. I don't know. I don't know, Conrad. I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, let's jump into the next one here. All right, let's talk about this. We're gonna talk about this crazy ass teacher. All right, one of the crazy ass teachers. Let's just double check the audio, everything here. All right, it's holding. Again, I don't know what's up with the internet, but just kind of deal with it tonight. It's perfectly fine. All right. There's always a question about where freedom of speech ends. And hold on. My neighbor's leaving. I want to... Damn it. Snaps for traps, y'all. If you like the snaps for traps, please feel free to like the video. Get it to over 100 likes so YouTube thinks that people actually care about me. I'm so lonely. I'm kidding. But no, let's get into this again. Snaps, traps, guys. Okay. So the debate over free speech is one that is always raging in our current culture, our current climate. And I feel like this particular story is going to bring a lot of very interesting takes on the subject matter. Because what you have here is a Florida teacher accused of hosting a far-right podcast, encouraging white nationalists to infiltrate schools. Now, she's also been fired at this particular point. So you've got a Florida teacher fired for hosting a podcast on about the alt-right, essentially, calling for white nationalists to infiltrate schools. You can kind of gather why she was fired, but the question boils down to, should she have been? Right? It really does. It does boil down to that question. Now, it says here that a teacher in Florida has been removed from the classroom after she was accused of using a false name to host a white supremacist podcast. Diana Volitich, 25, who teaches social studies at Citrus County Schools District Crystal River Middle School, is under investigation for allegedly expressing a series of racist and anti-Semitic views on her podcast, Unapologetic. Now, if the podcast is titled Unapologetic, you kind of know what you're in for. You know you're going to be in for some dirty bants and some out there opinions. I mean, hell, the name of my podcast is Rustl'd. That was more meant to be humorous, kind of a take on a meme, but at the same time, some could argue that I'm being legitimately serious in the presentation. But then again, nothing I espouse is white nationalist viewpoints, because I'm not a white nationalist. I'm sorry. Now, using the pseudonym Tiana Dalichov, she boasted about bringing her white nationalist beliefs into her classroom, as well as inviting people linked to her infamous far-right hate groups onto the show. Now, we do have freedom of association in this country. We do have freedom of assembly in this country, and you can talk to and interview anyone you want about a plethora of reasons. At no point has that really been called into question. Now, when she's boasting about bringing in her white nationalist beliefs into her classroom, at this point, like, I have to ask the question, well, Pixar, get the fuck out, right? Like, you know, like, that you got to have proof on this one. You know, like, you got to sit there and ask her, like, okay, hold on. What exactly were you saying? Who exactly were you saying it to? What context was this? And yes, I know I'm putting the H, that emphasizing that. But no, it boils down to that. Like, I don't agree with anything she says. I don't think you should bring white nationalist beliefs into her classroom. But when we have teachers that are teaching extreme leftist ideology in classrooms and kind of getting the pass, but yet they're attacking this one, when it's, again, the horseshoe theory is applied here, it really, you kind of have to ask that question of like, why is one allowed and one isn't? And again, I know it might come across like I am somewhat defending this person. I am not. I am simply asking the questions because I like equality. I like people to be treated equally. I don't like BS in classrooms, whatever your political rhetoric, but I still have to ask those questions. Now, this is her right here. Looks like your typical Florida social studies teacher. Now, according to the Angry White Men website, one of the recent guests was Lena Lochtef, wife of Henrik Palmgren, known as who are known for presenting a series of far-right podcasts. Palmgren, who also owns Red Ice, a media outlet recently classified as a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center. Yeah, but the Southern Poverty Law Center doesn't necessarily have like the greatest track record when it comes to doling out that hate group listing. I'm pretty sure if the Southern Poverty Law Center were to look at my channel, they'd be like, yeah, that fat fuck, totally a hate group. Even though I'm like, white nationalists suck. They'll be like, nah, you're not hardcore enough, man. You're asking the questions about due process. You're talking about actual equality, not forced equity. You're using logic and reason. You're a hate group. That's kind of what it comes across as. Because the SPLC sucks, by the way. Now, in a recent podcast from February 26th, Lochtef suggested that science has proven that certain races are smarter than others while discussing diversity in schools. She disputed whether a child in Nigeria could learn as quickly as one from Sweden. Oh no, we're dealing with the race realists again. Man, I hate these people, right? At this point, I just have to put it out there, and I'm sorry, I have to say this. I have to ask, has Andy Worski booked this woman yet? Because this is something that she could talk about on Worski Live and never actually be challenged on. JF would love this woman. He would bring her up to Quebec and attempt to impregnate her with another one of his children, her being more mentally competent than the last one. This is the kind of shit that people like JF would love. People like Richard Spencer would love. These kind of the people that they're going to ask the Jewish question. You know they're going to do this, like the Millennial Woes, the Mike Enochs, the Braving Ruin. These kind of people that are going to ask those questions and espouse those ideas. And I'm not against people having their opinions, even if they're the most worst opinions on the damn planet. It's just, oh my God, it's so bad. Oh, I hate race realists. I do. I really, honest to God, do. Saying, Lochtef also urged other white supremacists to become teachers in order to influence children. Of course. Because be more covert and just start taking over those places. I mean, it's what the left did. It's what a lot of these cultural Marxists and Frankfurt scholars did. And while she's not entirely wrong in that regard, as I did point out earlier, what you have in colleges and universities, in some respects, you hear these stories of discrimination and bigotry and prejudice against white men, and it's championed almost by the school. But here you've got a teacher who is on the opposite side of that spectrum, who is very much expressing her ideas through a pseudonym or a pen name, and on another podcast. And she loses her job. I mean, again, these are questions that it's like, why why are the rules for me, not for thee, sort of thing. Now, she says they don't have to be vocal about their views, but get in there, which is exactly also, by the way, what a lot of white nationalists and ethnostatists want. Be more covert and just start taking over those places. Okay, anyway, say so. Tiana Dalichov, a near anagram of Volatich's real name, expressed similarly far-right views on social media, as well as praising and retweeting white supremacists and neo-Nazis such as David Duke and Mike Enoch. Oh, of course, Mike Enoch. Yeah, that guy. He's just a peach. She tweeted that Muslims need to be eradicated from the face of the earth. Oh, dear God. In order to stop more terrorist attacks. She also praised the work of anti-Semitic author Kevin MacDonald. Okay, so yeah, you can start seeing why she was let go. I mean, oh my God. Do you have any idea how hard it is to argue for someone's free speech when you vehemently disagree with everything that they say, whether they're in character or not. It is so hard, so difficult. Now, her Twitter account, which used a picture of her as a profile picture, has been deleted. Why in God's name would you do that? I ran as an avatar for 3 years until somebody figured out who I was and then doxed me through a blackmail attempt. Now, in a statement, the Citrus County Schools District Superintendent Sandra Himmel said, on Friday night, March 2nd, 2018, the Citrus County School District was made aware of a concerning podcast by a Huffington Post reporter. The reporter indicated that they believed one of the persons participating in the podcast was a teacher at Crystal River Middle School. The Human Resources Department was notified and an investigation was initiated immediately. The teacher has been removed from the classroom and the investigation is ongoing. Pursuant to Florida statute, an open investigation materials related to it are exempt from public record and cannot be discussed until the investigation is complete. But she's been let go at this point. She's been let go. So, interview the students. That's one media advocate there says, and I agree. Interview the students. See what they have to say, and I'm sure we'll find out more. It's entirely possible that she was, in fact, playing a role. That she was, in fact, playing a character in this podcast, in this character on Twitter. Lord knows many of us out there who do this kind of stuff, that we speak, we emote, are always maybe playing up a particular different role. We're playing up an exaggerated version of ourselves, or something we hope to be, or we're doing for like maybe a shit posting effect. I have no idea. But when it comes to tweeting out that Muslims need to be eradicated, yeah, in no way can I defend that language. In no way can I defend that that's not essentially a call for violence. And I don't know if that's entirely, well, no, that is, because hate speech is protected under free speech. The First Amendment protects it. Supreme Court's backed that up. But the thing is, this woman's been fired because her values didn't fall in line with the school. And once the story broke, it was going to happen. But the question is, if she is found to not have espoused any of those ideas in her classroom, and she was teaching the curriculum, the agreed upon curriculum, and teaching it in a way that was equal and forthcoming with all students, regardless of their race, religion, or gender, then is she actually in any violation of school policies? That becomes a very interesting question. So you very much have that, you have that situation. But let's talk about the alternative of this, the other side of this. This woman here, Diana, is now going to become the poster child of the alt-right, the poster child of white nationalists. For a while, it was Richard Spencer. He came out there like the GQ poster boy for white nationalists. And then just yesterday, he held an event where he was giving a lecture, and maybe like 6-7 dudes showed up. His popularity has been waning in person, but on the internet, this kind of stuff spreads, it grows. Charlottesville was a good recruiting tool for a lot of these people. And I'd be interested to go and find her podcast and see what she had to say about Charlottesville, because then it would give you an idea as to who exactly this person is. But given where things are right now, given where things are at this moment in time, in our culture and our society, this woman right here will guaranteed probably open up a Patreon account, probably all of a sudden find herself with thousands, if not 100,000 or more, new people listening to the podcast, both on the left and on the right, and the alt-right. People are going to look at her now because what she is kind of perceived as is a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde scenario, right? Dr. Jekyll during the day, Mr. Hyde on the internet. And people are going to want to see the dichotomy between both worlds and how it overlaps. So we'll find pieces of or op-eds, interviews with people that she knows, people she went to school with, maybe her students, maybe parents of the students who might have met her. People are going to be digging into who this woman is. And every single time they do, whether they're on the right or they're on the left or they're in the far reaches of the alt-right, all it's going to do is raise her profile. make her more popular. And at the end of the day, she could, in fact, become the next spokesperson for the alt-right in that regard. Unapologetic could become the #1 podcast. And then as soon as it gets taken down from iTunes or or anywhere else where it's going to be posted, SoundCloud, who knows? And it gets driven underground, because it will inevitably be driven underground. It's only going to make her more infamous. And at the end, it's only going to make her more of a voice people want to listen to. And that's just sad. Really freaking sad. You're dumbfounded on how she became a teacher. It's not hard to become a teacher, man. She hid this. It's not hard to hide yourself on the internet. It's not hard to hide who you are. People are going to figure it out. You know, it's really one of those things where it's like, if I'm just saying it's not as crazy as it seems. So there's definitely that to consider. But yeah, for the most part, it's pretty. Hold on here. This is a con for Megabucks. You're convinced of that, Tracy? I agree. I think it's gonna be a lot of money there. I think it's gonna raise her profile. Why wouldn't it? So I don't know. It's some serious shit. It is some serious shit. All right, what are we looking at here? Ooh, we did hit 112 likes. I'm very happy about that. All right, cool beans. So, CNN article says she made a statement calling it satire. Yeah. Smoking or drinking gets you fired if they find it being in porn out of fire. Yeah, I know. Not a giant fan of that kind of crap. Not a giant fan about that at all. So it's pretty crappy. It's pretty crappy, but you know, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. I don't like the alt-right, period. I'm not a huge fan of the alt-right. I have a feeling that Worski comment will get me in a fair amount of trouble, but that's okay. JF is already probably jizzing his pants over this chick anyway. So, all right. Let's go to the last story tonight, and we'll jump into a little bit of Q&A before I wrap it up. All right. Where's the last one? Here we go. All right. So we've already talked about. There we go. Let me just restabilize this. Okay, that's good to go. So we've already talked about really horrible people today. Let's finish it up with a few more. These three women right here are daycare workers that have been accused of giving 2-year-olds melatonin gummy bears for nap time. Now, as a full-grown adult, physically, mentally, the jury is still out. I do like melatonin. It does help me go to sleep, but I'm a grown adult-ass man. I ain't no 2-year-old, you know, I mean, that's messed up. Melatonin, it kicks your ass, but it can also really kick your ass later on in life, too. Now, 3 Illinois daycare workers accused of giving 2-year-olds melatonin gummy bears to make them sleepy for nap time. Yeah, like, why? A 2-year-old has energy, sure, but you run them around in a circle for a while and they will lay down. You don't need to dope them up. What are you going to go do when they're doped up? Play video games for hours? Now, Kristen Laletta, 32, Jessica Hasey, 19, and Ashley Helfenbein, 25, have been arrested and each charged with 2 counts of battery and 2 counts of endangering the life of a child, according to the police in Des Plaines, Illinois. Parents had not given permission for their kids to have melatonin, according to police, who contacted the parents of every child at the daycare. The class had 12 children between the ages of 2 and 3. Yeah, if I send my daughter to daycare, which thankfully I get to work from home, so that probably won't be happening. If I were to send her to daycare and, they were doping her up with melatonin, I'd be pretty upset. We're talking lawsuit central here. And I'm glad that they've been charged with 2 counts of battery and 2 counts of endangering the life of a child. Now, police didn't get any reports of children getting sick from the gummies, but a few parents reported their kids were groggy when they picked them up recently from daycare. Yeah, parents are going to know if their 2 or 3-year-old's groggy, right? Like maybe the first time, oh, well, Connor's a little bit groggy today. Yeah, what happened here? And then you have them like, well, yeah, my son Dieter, usually rambunctious, full of energy, just teeming to the brim with spunk. Like he's on a freaking cocaine bender, and he's in the bender part. You're going to ask questions. They're always going to ask questions. Now, this is just a horrible case of bad judgment, Police Chief William Kushner said. The manager at Kitty Junction Daycare called police to the center on Friday afternoon and told them one of the teachers had been handing out gummy bears laced with melatonin to her class of 2-year-olds without her parents' permission. According to CBS, police said that there were 4 gummy bears left in a bottle of 120. Now, first and foremost, I did not know that they offered gummies laced with melatonin, and I would like to know where to acquire this for my own personal medicinal reasons. Because I take the pill form from Costco. Gummies just sound a lot more fun. Again, physically grown adult, not quite there mentally yet. Allegedly, this was done in an effort to calm them down before nap time, police said in a statement on Monday. Yeah, but it's like still, it takes like 30 to 40 minutes for melatonin to kick in. It's not like covering their mouth with a rag full of ether and then watching them just slowly drift off into slumberland. You got to give them the pill knowing that 30 or 45 minutes from then, they're going to ass out. But they're kids, so it could even take less time, I guess. Once in custody, teachers allegedly admitted to giving the gummy bears to kids. They reportedly told police they didn't think they'd done anything wrong because melatonin is an over-the-counter sleep aid, which is true. But if you are going to be giving any kind of aid to children, for one, you got to be certified, I believe. You should be at least. And 2, the parents are going to want to know what you're putting in their kids, right? Just imagine how angry those parents were who discovered that their altar boy sons were getting a little bit of something extra put in them by their priest, right? Parents want to know these things. It's the only way for them, it helps protect children. Maybe we should have made a Catholic rape joke. I apologize. You can't distribute that without parents being told. They told the Tribune. The teachers said, if I don't know that the teachers didn't know if the child was allergic to melatonin. Neurologists who spoke with the Tribune said that it was inappropriate and potentially dangerous to give melatonin to a child without their parents' consent. Yeah, no, totally it is. According to the New York Daily News, and the Department of Children and Family Services launched its own investigation into what happened. The center reportedly had no prior violations. All 3 women are due in court on April 4th. So, okay. So, this doesn't come across as evil or super malicious. It comes across as lazy and entitled, I would argue. The laziness, definitely, maybe not so much entitled, but definitely freaking lazy. Because these girls are working at a daycare. I love the one girl here, the picture of Kitty Junction Daycare, right? That's like the best advertising ever, said no one, or I said sarcastically. Because they thought that giving these kids melatonin-laced gummy bears would be a way to calm them down. Melatonin takes it takes time to wear off. It does. It takes time to wear off. It takes time to kick in. And if there were 120 that were in there, how many times did they do this? Right. And that boils down to the real question here. If it was a one-time thing they got caught on, I could see giving them maybe a little bit of leniency, like they didn't know, that was dumb, they're clearly going to be fired, never work around kids again, but it was a clear lapse in judgment. Here, you could tell the laziness kicked in, where you had a bunch of rambunctious 2 to 3-year-olds, because we all know toddlers kind of suck, especially when it comes to all of their energy, and they always want to be touching stuff like your Xbox. I have a 2-year-old nephew. I love him. Drives me up the wall. And I'll have a 2-year-old daughter soon enough too. But the point is that they have energy. They get on the rambunctious side. So your best course of action, obviously, is to exert that energy, put it out there into the ether somehow. Let them burn it off. But instead, they doped them up. Then they got caught. Now they know. Don't give kids melatonin. Don't give kids melatonin-laced gummy bears. You save those gummy bears for a 36-year-old adult male who wants gummy bears and to get a goddamn good night's sleep, because having a 3-month-old is so freaking tiring. I had no real way to end that one. I had no real way to end that one at all. Yeah, exactly. Just run them in circles. Oh my god. Give him a Batman mask. Exactly. He's got to do stuff with them and everything else. I just find that to be kind of funny. Oh. Oh man. So, yeah, I just want to talk about that one. Again, the stories today were kind of like, whatever. They were whatever today. They're not my favorite thing in the world. Sometimes you get good stuff, sometimes you get kind of junk. So it's okay. It's okay. We'll figure it out. All right. Let me just double check one thing real quick. All right. Oh shit, where am I at? Okay. Discord tonight? No, Fry Guy won't be on Discord tonight. I'll probably be wrapping it up here in a few minutes. I do want to keep the streams between an hour and a half and 2 hours if possible. I had Jeff on the other night. I need to bring out more people. Try to find more people that are on this late. That's the problem. I'm on the West Coast. It's almost 11 p.m. And everything else. So that's always an issue. Am I doing the ABC report on the judges? No, Andrew Phobe, I'm not. I probably won't talk much about that. I'll wait to see whether or not, I'm kind of waiting to see, to an extent, what happens next. It's one of those things where it's like, the information is, I don't know all the information, and considering how I tend to do things, it makes more sense to me to wait for there to be like a full-fledged report that goes into an article. So then I'm doing the same style of content. I mean, I could take a look real quick over on, let's see if One Angry Gamer's talked about it, because he might have talked about it. Let me see. So, could Battlefield... No. Oh, shit. Oh, wow. State of Decay 2 releases in 2 months. Yeah! 2.5 months. And it's $30. Yeah! I want that shit. You have no idea how much I want that shit. I want that game in me. I love State of Decay. All right. Yeah, nothing really done on there. Nothing really crazy done. So, I mean, like, the story has been very good. Yeah, Bearing is around. The last time Bearing came on, shit fucked up. So I want to go through the situation. I want to try to get the situation with OBS situated with my bandwidth, because that's going to be embarrassing if it craps out while we're streaming. So you want me to buy a fedora? One Media Advocate. Yeah, I saw Prince of Queen's video last night. He sent it off to me because he mentioned me in it. So he sent me a message saying he was mentioning me in it. And I watched this video and I thought it was relatively fair. And then, of course, I saw a lot of people retweeting a lot of mean things about Prince of Queens today, because that, of course, is how internet blood sports works. If you disagree with it, it's the meme machine comes for you, because that works out, So, yeah. Tonka gets butthurt at the speed of light. He really does. He super does. Agony's finally out this month. Okay, cool. I want to check that out. The thing is, okay, DKJ Spec, what you have to understand about Tonka is playing a character. Tonka is playing, he's good at the inflection. And that's what he does. He's good at the inflection, going really, really, really hot down to kind of like, calm. 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds. It is, in fact, a gift, but it's also an act. As Jeff and I talked about the other night, a lot of things having to do with the Internet Blood Sports is very much trying to model it after a lot of wrestling. They're trying to treat it like it's a male soap opera, which ultimately is really what it boils down to. It's a poorly produced male soap opera. It hits all the same notes. You have the same you have like the heroes, you have the bad guys, you've got the fighting. And like I said the other night, you had your Bloodapalooza that barely pulled in, for a stream what it should have been. It should have had double or triple the numbers watching. It didn't. It just didn't. And that's the truth of it. Internet Blood Sports serves I guess you could say, like a niche. People like that kind of stuff, obviously. But at the same time, you're looking at, let's see. Hold on, I'm looking up his YouTube channel right now. It can fill a niche, but that's where it's going to stay. So, I mean, Tonka's doing well subscriber wise. He's growing. But his views are averaging 14,000 a day, right? 14,000 views a day. So there are people that watch the streams live, but then not as many are going and rewatching the 6-hour live stream. And that's going to end up being a problem for it, but whatever. Blazing Phantom, which Wolfenstein? One, or the New Blood? The Old Blood, the New Colossus, which one? Yeah, Face and Heels, that's what it is. Yeah. I haven't seen Bunty's video about Trudeau's Indian wardrobe, but I saw the picture of him and it was stupid. So do I think that Internet Blood Sports is also a fad? Oh, it's totally a fad. It was totally a fad. It's a fad that is ultimately being put into, it's being manipulated. I mean, go to, here, we'll take a quick gander. And I don't want to keep giving those guys my time, but I just find it really funny. So what you've got is, all right, let's see here. So this is Internet Blood Sports dot com, right? Or .net. And so you can see here, like, the fact that their thumbnail is on all the super chats, which, might be for a reason or not. But you've got the Morning Kumite, Warski Live, and Baked Alaska are the 3 channels that are featured, right? So you can see here, they've got all this stuff, all the Baked Alaska, everything, right? So Warski Live, Tonka, and Baked Alaska. So you've got Warski, who is as much an alt-right mouthpiece at this point as anything. And that's part of the big criticism against him, is that he, doesn't challenge people. He tries to. He doesn't. JF controls the conversation. I think that's pretty apparent at this point that Andy's being played. So it'd be funny how long that lasts. Then you've got Tonka, who knows how to whip people up into a frenzy, and relies on a lot of other people. What he does is he relies on Failure to act as his kind of assistant. And if Failure left the team, then I think Tonka would be in a bit of hurt. Failure would talk to everybody, but then Failure is also the person who brings on a lot of the content that they end up making fun of. So there's that. Failure's is not as well liked as he used to be, from my understanding. And then, of course, you've got Baked Alaska here. And Baked Alaska clearly is a alt-righter, a white nationalist, an ethno-state supporter. And these are the 3 people that are there. And so if you Google... Let's see, if you Google Internet Blood Sports, what pops up here? Internet Blood Sports, are the blood gods satisfied? And then you just go, internetbloodsports.net. You go right there. So people who are going to find out more about this, because more articles are going to be written about this as time goes on, you're going to see, we have dangerous.com here. YouTube suspends Warski Live, the host of Internet Blood Sports, right? Dangerous is Milo's site. It gets pretty good coverage. So then, oh, Andy Worski, Internet Blood Sports. Oh, what's Internet Blood Sports? Bam, you're back on the website here. And you're looking at like, oh, Baked Alaska. I know that name. And this is how the cycle continues. This is how the situation goes. Is you're going to see all of these guys lumped in with being... you're going to find a lot of these guys lumped in with the crowd that they don't want to be lumped in with. You know, even the money is not going to be worth it at that point. So that's more the funny bit about it. It's just, it's so weird. This is where things have gone in 2.5 months, essentially. So there's that. Ultimately it's a fad. Ultimately, you know, the only thing after and I will say this, and I do mean this, the only thing that will walk out of this probably relatively even keeled would be Tonka, right? But even then he runs the risk of alienating his audience. Because eventually I would argue that Jim is going to get bored and move on. Or Jim is going to walk away from YouTube, as he's talked about before. And when that happens, when you lose your main attraction, you know, what do you do next? Right? And you can tell that anyone who criticizes Internet Blood Sports gets the meme machine put on them from Tonka and the crew. They're trying to establish a certain style. And again, that's probably going to blow up in their face too. Because also people are going to stop going on. People aren't going to go on there and hang out, everything else. So, Champ, where did I get the name Mundane Matt from? I've told the story before, but I'll quickly retell it. I stole it. I stole it from a guy named Matt, but he didn't know that he was named Mundane Matt. He's a pickup artist, and our mutual friends were pickup artists. But he was kind of lame at it, so they called him Mundane Matt behind his back to make fun of him. And then in October 2009, when I wanted to do a movie review channel, I was sitting there trying to think of a name to name the channel, and the name Mundane Matt came to mind. I never thought I was going to use it. Fast forward about 2 years and some change later, when I'm, you know, in Los Angeles and I'm broke as shit, and I want to start doing YouTube, and I figure I need a channel that's already grandfathered into the partnership program. And this channel was over 2 years old at the time, and it already was grandfathered in. I just started doing that. So it's possible that I might go back to Matt Jarbo and change it up. I mean, I'll get back my verification check mark if I just email, email them and let them know. I might do that. And a lot of people are kind of abandoning their monikers. They're moving on. They're evolving, like Pokemon. So, when Jim walks away, will he throw a pineapple over his shoulder? I don't know. I don't know. So, yeah, Jim Medicare, the Internet Aristocrat, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the thing is, I like Jim, but, like, I listen to him on these things. I see him pop up, and it's like he's getting way, way more aggressive. And he's getting way more agitated at people. So, it can run the risk, can really run the risk of kind of having an impact on him down the road. And I'm not too sure what's going to happen. I don't know. So, okay, it's 11 o'clock right now. I've been on for an hour and a half. I figure it's probably a good place to wrap it up. If you guys want, I will probably be in the Discord, maybe not voice, but I'll probably be in there for chat a little bit. So I'll be back on again, tomorrow night. Yeah, because it's only Tuesday. I forget what day it is. I'm pretty tired. So I can go to bed, pass out, and then I will see you guys later. Thanks a lot for coming in. Have yourself a great night, and, well, peace out.